What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Vibecast. I believe this is going to be episode number 7, and we're back at it with a topic we've touched on before, but I really want to touch on again in this episode, which is going to be the topic of NFTs and cryptocurrency space and stuff like that. I'm sorry for the lack of content on the channel in the last 2 weeks. I am over it, but getting over COVID-19. Ended up getting COVID-19. Me and my girlfriend both ended up getting COVID-19. Now my sister has it. My sister's boyfriend, my friend Tom, has it. And it is crazy how fast this stuff spreads. It wasn't a fun experience. I'm feeling a lot better, though. I tried to film this morning, and it just wasn't there. It has taken a toll. I'm just tired. It sucks that I can't taste food yet. I can't smell food yet. And that's my biggest complaint, is the no food situation. I mean, I'm eating food. It's just like, can't enjoy it thoroughly. And you don't realize that when the smell and eating goes hand in hand. Like, my sense of taste is coming back faster than my sense of smell. So it's like, luckily I can taste a little bit of stuff. It's still not fully there, but I can taste some things, and it is nice to be able to taste some things, but it doesn't make the food enjoyable when you can't smell it either. It's something that you don't know until it happens, and I'm glad it's all slowly seems coming back. My smell is coming back just a lot slower than my taste, it seems like. So that's where I'm at with it. I hope everyone is well. Everyone is well. Just nothing you can really do. Luckily for me, this was no worse than a flu or something along of that nature. It wasn't fun. I never took it as something to mess around with, but there's only so much you can do to prevent it. Stay healthy. Try to do the best you can. And, I wish everyone the best and the well with all this mess going on in the world. But anyways, we're back with episode number 7. Episode number 6 was a couple months back, and it was about NFTs and crypto a little bit. Now, I rewatched that podcast, and I thought it was kind of decent. It wasn't bad for somebody very early in the space. Not to say that I'm still not very early in the space, but now I'm actually involved in the space, invested in the space, and I have learned a lot of different things about NFTs, and kind of, I think I can benefit people in a different way than I could have before, because now when you're actually in the space, instead of I was kind of talking about stuff that I was learning and hearing at the time, but now it's like when you're physically in the space and you learn about this stuff and you deal with this stuff daily, it's a little bit different, and you can speak on it a lot differently. But anyways, let's jump into it. I'm not going to go into a full breakdown on what an NFT is. I mean, I can roughly sum it up because there's just endless videos at this point. I don't even want to make a video on it on my channel because there's just so many videos. You can just Google what an NFT is. I'll give you a brief breakdown, but an NFT is a non-fungible token, and I'm sure a lot of people know what an NFT is by now. You don't have to know every detail, but I'm sure you know what an NFT stands for, non-fungible token. Now, a non-fungible token is basically a smart contract. It is basically a token that basically gives you the rights to say that this is your piece of art, object, whatever it is. Right now, it's pretty much limited to art, and basically it entitles you that you are the rightful owner of this piece of art. Now, right now it is limited to art, but I'm going to get into a whole thing in this podcast NFT video that should open up the eyes about what this could be, what this could become, and where I think it's going to head. I am not a financial expert by any means. So take my advice with a grain of salt and use it for educational purposes. Like, don't do what I do in this video or say in this video 110%. Because I am not an expert. This is my thoughts. This is my experiences, and everybody's mileage may vary, essentially. But NFTs, where do I think they're going in the future? Why do I think they're so cool? Who's buying them? What's going on with them? And we're going to just jump in here. I have some stuff in the notes, not a lot of stuff. I kind of need to start doing like more organization to when I make these things, so it'll be a hell of a lot easier, but I don't even have anything. As you can see here, I started with what's an NFT. That's all I got in the notes so far, but I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about. But anyways, so the NFT space is a space that a lot of people are it's like uncharted waters right now, but it isn't when you're in it. Basically, you're seeing these pictures, CryptoPunks, all these different images. I'll insert a few on the screen as I speak about them. CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Club. There's a lot at this point that are just like big killing it projects. Basically, they are there's now NFTs aren't always in this scenario, but this is the most pretty popular one. Is these NFT projects get launched, and they'll have anywhere from the magic number right now is 10,000 of the NFTs in a project, meaning 10,000 characters, images, whatever the case may be. Now with CryptoPunks, they kind of set the standard because the first super successful NFT project, and that was 10,000 different characters. Now these little characters I'll insert on the screen right here, CryptoPunks, are being sold up today. I think I seen one sell for 4.8 million yesterday. They're really selling for crazy. I'm gonna pull some of the numbers up on my phone so I can give you guys some reference of exactly what these things are selling for. These images of these CryptoPunks, because I follow the space like crazy. I just can't tell you exactly what stuff's selling for all the time. Come on, CryptoPunks. So you got a floor price of, there is no floor price, let me show you, it's so high. But let's see, the cheapest one right now is going to be priced at, where's the price? They don't have a price on it, this thing's so expensive. Let's see. I don't know why I can't view the prices. Like, what the heck is going on here? Sorry for this delay here, folks. Let's just go to activity, maybe see what the activity list is. Yeah, so the last price sold 6 minutes ago on one at the time of making this video was for 172.5 ETH, which is going to break down to 172 ETH US. I gotta transfer, let's see, 172. Like $609,000, almost $610,000. Cheapest one right now. That's the cheapest CryptoPunk that you could buy. It's nuts. It's insane for a picture, literal picture of a thing. But you've got to understand there is a lot more to it than just a picture. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to bring here, because so many people don't understand that. When I'm explaining this stuff to family, to friends, nobody wants to get on board because they think you're paying all this money for pictures. Now, mind you, I'm not at the level of spending thousands of dollars yet on these pictures. Hundreds of dollars, yes, thousand, we're getting there. But I have not personally spent any significant, like thousands of dollars pickups. But that's not to say that I'm not going to in the future, because I can see the profitable, like the investment aspect of it. And I'm starting to accumulate some of these NFTs. I have a good collection now. That's not to say all my NFTs are worth to the moon. I'm going to be rich, but that's not the point of all this, even though, it is, but it is the point of making investments and making money. But anyways, so basically you buy this picture and you're the only one that owns this picture. It's a collectible piece and it makes no sense on why you're spending this much money, right? Well, let me break this down for you real quick, because this is the perfect scenario of kind of what I explained to my girlfriend the other day, and she kind of understood a little bit better. Mind you, my girlfriend pretty much supports everything that I do, even this wild NFT stuff, because it's hard for anybody from the outside to understand what the hell you're doing or what the heck I'm doing when I'm explaining this stuff. But when you sit down and basically look at it, it comes down to the raw fact that people collect things. I have Hot Wheels on the wall. I collect sneakers. I have pops in my room that I collected at one point. Everybody collects something. Whether, the case it doesn't matter what the case is. Most people collect something. They have an attachment to something. Like for my girlfriend, it's like I explained to her, it's Winnie the Pooh stuff. And the Winnie the Pooh stuff that she has collected has a value to it. She could probably sell some of that stuff for a couple $100 if she needed to in a pinch, but she collects those things. And that's kind of what she likes to do. Now, I explained to her that when you're collecting these things, the thing with the crypto space and these NFTs is that only you can see those Winnie the Pooh collectibles. Only I can see these Hot Wheels. Only I can see my sneakers unless I wear them to the store or out. I'm the only one that can see them in my house. So that's the level that it stopped at. No one else can see these things that you collect. Now with NFTs, it is public information to everybody. Everybody's wallet is public. You could see what everybody owns. You can go and see what LeBron James owns, what every celebrity owns, what I own, what he owns, what she owns. Everybody's stuff is public. So you can see everything that everybody owns, every piece of art, every picture. It's public. And mind you, you can put in bids to buy all of these things on OpenSea, which is a marketplace for NFTs. So it doesn't limit you. Like, if anything, the idea of that this is not a physical thing versus the physical thing that you collect in your house, if anything, it's more valuable to me because now so many more people can see these little pictures that you collect in your house, in your wallet, on your phone. It's no different than collecting anything. It's the same reason people buy Rolexes, to show off that their wealthiness, is their flex. Not just saying, and Rolexes aren't just to flex. People buy them as investments. It's like jewelry. But a lot of times people are buying them to flex, to show off they have this thing. It's no different with buying a $600 and whatever I said $1,000 CryptoPunk because you just want to show it off. And yeah, it's a lot of money, but guess what? With the way everything's going right now, that 600 and whatever I said, $650,000 CryptoPunk that somebody just bought, they could probably turn around and list it up right now and sell it for $50,000 more than what they paid for. Now, is that stupid? A stupid investment? Absolutely not, in my opinion. To come around and spend $650 and sell it for $700,000, when you could probably sell it for even more. But like I said, that is not a stupid investment, and there is no really way to argue that it's stupid when people are statistically making this much money, when there's this much volume of people buying these things, when companies like Visa are buying CryptoPunks, when Google just signed a deal to launch an NFT today. It's not stupid. It may have been stupid a few months ago, but it's not stupid. There's a reason people this big and companies this big are jumping into this space, because it is going to become significant in the future, in my opinion. This isn't just going to be an image anymore. Some of the first talks of people buying unique properties around the world. Now, when I say unique property, I don't mean like a residential house that you'll find in your regular neighborhood. Now, I don't think it's going to be limited to this in the future. I think you will be able to tokenize an NFT real estate property no matter what it is in the future, in my opinion. If you could do it now with people who are buying these unique properties, when I say unique, like I said, we're talking cliffside properties in California, around the world, let's say Switzerland, because I know there's really cool mountains there and all these different cool pictures and stuff all these cool real estate properties. And what they're doing is they're buying them, attaching a token to them, so they're tokenized now. On the blockchain, there's a smart contract that says so-and-so owned this property at one point. Now, every time this property sells, they get a 1 or 2% royalty of each sale. So every time for the rest of that person's life, until that contract goes away or whatever happens, or if some way you could remove that contract, that person, every single sale, they get 1 to 2%, whatever the percentage is that they make on per sale of the said transaction. Now, that's how it works with NFT pictures right now too. Basically, these creators drop these projects of 10,000 pieces of randomly generalized characters, art, whatever it may be. It's not always 10,000. I'm just saying 10,000 because that's a pretty good estimate, because that's what most of these projects are capped at, 10,000 of each edition character, whatever you want to call it. And every time they sell one, or it sells in the OpenSea, the secondhand marketplace for NFTs, they get a percentage of 5% of the transaction, 3% of the transaction, 10% of the transaction, whatever the number that they make, that they want on every single transaction. So for the rest of their life, that's on the blockchain, that image is on the blockchain, and it sells and changes transaction, you get money. Now, you're getting paid, you're collecting a royalty. That's so cool to me. And, I see it going into real estate. Like, I really do see this going into mainstream real estate. I mean, it's already started. I think once it becomes more popular and then it actually goes into the real estate aspect of things, where you can purchase properties, tokenize them, and then forget about them. They keep selling, you collect 1 to 2% passive income royalty. It's a pretty good gig right there. Now, no, we're not there yet. NFT space is so new that people don't, it's another thing. This is another reason why people don't understand it or grasp it fully yet. It's because it's only been around for not even a year. People have been dabbling in a space. A year is a stretch, I'd say. I mean, you're seeing significant traction in the last 2 months, in my opinion. The last video that I made on this was 5 months ago, and I sounded like I had no idea what I was talking about. I had a decent understanding, but like I said, a little bit different now. But 5 months ago, and I was talking about this new thing. We're 5 months ahead, and you got companies like Visa buying in, Google, all these big name companies are buying in to the space. And that just goes to tell you that there's a reason why people are in this space. There's a reason those big companies are buying into this space, because at somehow, some way in the future, it's going to be a viable thing. It's going to be a part of your everyday life. Now, I say this in confidence, and I want to give some examples of other things rather than, just the picture aspect of things. Now, right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm buying these. I'll give you a little example of what I'm doing right now. I got my friend Tom on board now. He's the first friend of mine that I kind of got into it, and he's kind of seeing the space, how profitable the space is, and he's starting to like it just like I am. We're in Discord every day talking about this stuff, and, it's pretty cool to finally have somebody into it, because it's hard to get somebody into this because they look at you like you're a crazy person. But we're buying these projects usually at mint date, which mint date is the date that they release, and you can mint the projects until they're all sold out. All 10,000 of them are sold out. And those are the cheapest you'll ever be able to buy those, unless the project completely falls off, which, not every project is going to be worth thousands of dollars, but for the most part, you can always sell that project back for what you paid for, maybe a little bit more in most cases. You're really not going to lose a ton of money on them, even if the projects do go to like crap. There's a lot of research with this. It's investing at the end of the day. It's investing like investing in stocks. You do your research on these things to figure out if they're going to go hopefully up in value, so you can make some money on your investment. Not always the case. People make bad investments all the time in whatever investment field you're making that in stocks, in real estate, in anything. You can always make bad investments and always lose money. That's part of investing. Now, buying these NFTs are really no different. You're making an investment. You're hoping that your investment turns around. Now, there's projects that I have just bought. There's a couple projects that I just bought because I like the artwork. Some of those things are these Reapers that I'll put on the screen. And these Reapers here, that was my first NFTs I bought. I accidentally bought a second one, but I'm not mad about it. It was a project that I really like the art of these Grim Reapers. I think they're cool, and I'll probably just hold on to it. They're really not doing anything in price. I could sell it for what I pretty much paid for the most part, maybe a little bit less right now. But that's not to say that once the project gets some more traction, I can't make some money on it. But I didn't buy that project to make money. I bought that to collect a piece. Like I collect the Hot Wheels, like I collect the sneakers. It's the same thing. But aside from that, then there's projects that I buy to solely flip and make money on. Like I bought this Psycho teddy bear right here today. This isn't the one that I sold, but this is the one that I own in my collection right now. And the first one that I minted, I ended up selling for like $300 more a few hours later. So I spent like, I think I spent like $220 on the thing. I sold it for about $430 or something like that, or $450. Almost like instantly listed it, minted it, I listed it, I sold it within like 3 or 4 hours. That's a pretty good turnaround, man. And this is like, I'm doing this on the smaller end scale, man. There's people making thousands and thousands of dollars on a daily basis in this space that, have been in a little bit longer than me, a little bit more educated than me. But it's still cool for me to make a couple $100s a day just flipping some pictures online. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm doing now, and I'm trying to make this more of like a passive income thing to where I can just buy these things and flip them. And it's all about learning what projects are going to be good. 90% of these projects are going to fail and be worth completely nothing. And you have to accept that fact and understand that fact. And, it is what it is. Anybody can enter this space. Anybody can release a piece of picture and claim it as an NFT. It doesn't mean it has value. So there's a whole lot of research and studying that goes into buying this and which ones you're going to invest in. You can't go into this space with a couple of thousands of dollars and just think that you're going to get rich quick and it's going to be super, super simple. Because if you do that, you're going to lose a ton of money, and probably all your money, to be honest. I didn't heavily go in like that. I don't think anybody should heavily go in like that. I didn't buy my first NFT until like, I would probably say maybe a month ago. But this was with months of research before. So it wasn't like I was new to the space. It's just that I felt like I wasn't ready to buy because I was learning it. Take the time to learn. You're not going to be able to understand this stuff right off the rip. So take the time to learn. But that's the point I'm at with these things, buying them and flipping them a day or so, a couple days down the road, hold them for a couple of weeks. There's projects that a lot of times you hold them for a couple of weeks, like a few I have right now, and hopefully in a couple of weeks, maybe I will be able to sell it for couple thousand bucks. That's the game plan. That's the projection that I'm looking for sure. But, in my opinion, if you're buying one like I bought this week, boom, bought it, listed it on OpenSea. OpenSea is the marketplace to sell them after you mint them. and you sell that in like 2-3 hours after picking it up and making almost double your money, more than double your money. That's awesome. In my opinion, that's a great investment. That's a good flip right there. And if you could do that a couple times a day, a couple times a week, you're going to be doing pretty good for yourself. Let me tell you that much. But that's kind of where I'm at with these NFTs, and I'm loving it. Now, how can this change your everyday? How can this change? How will you see this implemented into, future? Because right now, I know it seems stupid, and it doesn't seem like you're gonna see that. You're seeing it already with now, instead of, for instance, you have these. Here's a cool one that I read the other day. Supposedly, this is supposedly, and this is cool to me. Elon Musk is going to be putting out an NFT of whatever, 5,000 NFTs. Now, when you get these NFTs, there's stuff that comes along with these NFTs. Now, pretty much any NFT, you get some type of benefits, whether that's a dollar amount for holding them, whether that's access to more projects from that creator by holding them. There's all these different things. Now, what people are doing, like Elon Musk is supposed to do, he's supposed to drop an NFT. Now, when whoever purchases that NFT, say there's 5,000 of them, you're guaranteed a lunch meeting with Elon Musk. The only way you're going to get that lunch meeting is by buying that NFT. And it's a collectible piece, but it also guarantees you in the contract, in the NFT, in the token, that you get to go on a lunch meeting with Elon Musk. Now, what you choose to do in that meeting with Elon Musk is completely up to you. But how sick is that? You buy an NFT for, say, $200 to $500. I don't know how much it's going to be. No idea. This is just a rumor of one. And you get to go out to have lunch with Elon Musk. That would be sick. I would love to do that. And maybe when it comes out, I'll buy it to get that opportunity to just go sit down and speak with someone like that. That's cool. You don't know what that could do for your future by just having that conversation with him. Now you're seeing it already with events like concerts and stuff. Logan Paul, not to say this NFT is worth any money, but what he did was he released an NFT to get into a event that he held. There's no tickets. There's no paper ticket. That is just nothing. He made an NFT. That was your entry to that event that he held. So maybe tickets won't even be a thing anymore. Another cool thing, which, it's cliche to talk about Gary Vee, but a lot of people follow him. I'm a big follower of him. He's taught me a lot through the NFT stuff. He's taught me a lot through life about making money and stuff like that. What he said was that now you've seen, like, for instance, whatever, you go to a basketball game, LeBron James has an amazing game, whatever. He scores the most points he ever scored in his career. Maybe that ticket that you went to that game back in 2012 is now worth like $200-$300 on eBay. Now it's going to be like that with NFTs. There's going to be NFTs to get into these games. NBA's already into the NFT space with NBA Top Shot. They might maybe one day they're going to say, all right, we're done with regular paper tickets. You got to buy NFTs to get into the games. Then you could sell the NFT when you're done at the game. Now, say that game, you bought that NFT to go to the game, your ticket, your admission to the game, and something crazy happened at the game where, somebody scored 100 points. Probably not going to happen, but something like that happens. Now you are the only person to hold that NFT. You sell that in the secondhand marketplace because to some collector, that is value to somebody. That's a lot cooler than a random piece of paper ticket that you're going to probably throw in the garbage can that has nothing to do with. Now you have this NFT that's on your phone forever, on the blockchain forever, and it's really that simple. Maybe there's value there. You're going to see it more like that. You're going to see it become more mainstream in a lot of different ways. And I'm pretty confident in saying that. I'm not an expert, but I'm very confident in saying that. It's just a why wouldn't you thing. Now, it is super early in the space, like I said 10 times already, but if you're looking to find a way to make some money, it's pretty easy. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty easy. You sit down and do a couple of weeks of research, watch your videos, learn all the stuff. It's pretty easy. And you got to understand it is easy right now because it's a territory that's not touched yet. It's new. It's like anything. Right now, it's very profitable because it's not so saturated because it's uncharted waters right now. People are scared to get in and buy pictures for a couple $100s. That's somebody's rent for or grocery food for the grocery dollars for the week. But if you get in and you can find a decent project, you can easily start flipping with a couple $100 right now. And I think it's pretty exciting. and I think it's a really good opportunity for people to get into that space right now. I think it's so cool. You're foolish not to. I mean, I hope that this podcast style video that I just did here, this is a podcast, can kind of enlighten you about this NFT space a little bit. I've probably said so much in the last 26-ish minutes, 25-ish minutes, and I could still talk so much more about it. I really think I might start doing some type of, series on this channel about just NFTs and where I'm at and what I'm doing with them, because there's so much to be talked about and so much to be discussed about them. And I think it's super cool, this space. I can't wait to see what the future holds for this space, especially the real estate aspect. I mean, my dream is to get into real estate at some point in the future. So to see possibly have NFTs tied to real estate in the future could be so cool. And, to the people that say it's just an image, I explained it to you perfectly. You're collecting something at the end of the day, whatever it is. I know you and I collect something. I don't know what you collect. People collect video game controllers. Hot Wheels for me, I said it 10 times. Sneakers, mouses, keyboards, whatever it is, you collect stuff. Now there's a way to collect stuff on a higher scale for the masses to see through online, through your blockchain. And I think that comes along with just how cryptocurrency in the next couple of years, that's a whole nother topic for another podcast in general, is going to be so much more significant in the next couple of years, maybe less time, year, 2 year. I think you're going to start to see cryptocurrency really, really, really take over. And actually, it's just with how fast, for instance, the US is printing money, it's like there's no way you can't say that cryptocurrency isn't going to hold a more value or have a more value at the end of the day. I mean, it's just, crypto is just a whole nother thing right now with so much ways to make money rather than having your money sit in a savings account making no money. Now, is it risky? Yes. I'm not going to get into this topic now because that's a whole nother thing aside from NFTs, even though cryptocurrencies has huge attachment to NFTs. I don't want to get into it right now, but cryptocurrency in the next couple of years, and I know everyone's been saying this, is going to be huge, and I'm excited about it to see where it takes me specifically and to see how many more people I can get on board with it, because another uncharted territory, but becoming very popular. I mean, it's just, there's no way to deny it. You can't go anywhere now without everybody knowing what cryptocurrency was. 2 years ago, not everyone knew. Now I can go have a conversation with my dad or my grandfathers have passed away, but I'm sure you can go have a conversation with someone who has grandparents that know what cryptocurrency is. So that'll tell you something, and I'm super excited to see where this space goes in the future. But that's going to wrap up this podcast about NFTs here. I hope that you were able to take something from this because this is something, as you can tell, I could talk about a lot, and I like the space, but it's hard to get people on board. Very hard. I got my first friend into it, finally bought his first NFT, a couple of NFTs. We both bought the same ones. I made some money on mine. I don't know if he sold his yet. I talked to him yesterday, he said it didn't sell yet. But, that's the name of the game. And I hope you guys enjoy this one. Expect more of these more frequently. I'm trying to do the best that I can with putting out more of these. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So peace, guys.